Hey, everybody. Jamie here, Nomadic Rev. Welcome back to another video here today. I wanted to do another test with StreamYard and use a new setup that I've been working on here. I've been slowly building out a studio, so I hope you guys find it helpful. And what we're going to talk about in today's video is, are you ready? Is the American dream dead? So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I hope the sound is coming through. And if you comment, I should see it here. I'm still using the free version of StreamYard. I just want to get to know it a little bit better before I decide to upgrade, which I might actually end up doing just to get rid of the logo. So is the American dream dead? So how did I come up with the idea for this video as I'm doing a test today? I was watching another YouTube video earlier this morning with a gentleman who was talking about the fact that he believed that the American dream was dead. And so I watched the video, I listened to what he had to say, and I formulated some thoughts, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. So hopefully over the next couple of minutes, a couple more people will join. Again, if you can hear me, leave a comment below. Just say A-OK. It's a beautiful day here in Minnesota. We are back up in the 30-degree weather, which is nice. Next week looks like it's going to be even warmer. We're supposed to be in the 50s for most of the week. So camping season is almost here. And so I'm excited. So here's what I want to talk about. Is the American dream dead? That's the title of this video, and I would love your feedback as we go throughout this whole conversation and talk a little bit about the question that I've been raising: is the American dream dead, or is the idea of how we get to the American dream dead? And I think it's the latter. So, me, I've been talking about on this channel quite a bit about the prices of gas, groceries, housing, all that sort of stuff. It continues to skyrocket. We just hit where I am officially $4 a gallon for gas. And so I've been talking about that because I've been sharing the Get Upside app with you guys. I just want to bring as much value as I can to you. So in most of my videos, I think it's in every video, I have a link where you can get cash back for when you use gas at specific gas stations. But the reason that I don't necessarily think that the American dream is dead is because I think the way that the game is played is what has changed. So it used to be that, 50 years ago, you could, get a good job, go to school, get a good job. You could live off of one income, have a nice home. I think when my grandparents purchased their home, it was less than $20,000. They had used cars, most of their lives, and they lived quite comfortably. And even for a lot of that, they had two incomes. And it used to be that the United States was a lot more of the country ran on production. So we created goods and services, and that was what made our country great, quite honestly. But over the last um, probably 30, 40 years of my lifetime, there's been a dramatic shift away from us being a producing country, meaning we produce goods and services and we provide something, to now we live in a culture and a society that the number one product is debt. And so, because the number one product is debt, as you can imagine, we as Americans who are consumers, guess what we consume more than anything? We consume debt. And so what happened is we've had several decades of this now, to where our country has more debt than ever. The average household has more debt than ever, personal debt I'm talking about. People are drowning in student loan debts. People are drowning in credit card debt. People can't pay their bills. And so what you're seeing, what's really happened over my lifetime is a move away from our country being a country that produces um, products, provides great service, to basically just funding our debt addiction. And what happens is the more debt we take on, the more risk that we have. And the more risk that we have, the less likely we're going to be able to meet our debt obligations. And so there are many people today who are completely drowning in debt. I did get a comment here. Um, Jane Prepper says it's not dead, but it's on life support. So the big turning point for me was when I started to read and investigate a totally different perspective on finances. And for me, it started with Dave Ramsey and Financial Peace University, taking that. My wife and I went through that class. We started paying off our personal debt. We started trying to reduce our monthly expenses. We started trying to increase our income, and we started to look at all the things that people around us were buying that we didn't need, quite honestly. And what we've noticed is that since we've started that would have been, um, I think it was in 2018. So it was probably 4 years ago that we went through financial peace personally. What we started to notice was that by eliminating our personal debt, by reducing our expenses, by increasing our income, by eating out less, by shopping, our insurance, um, we were able to move away little by little from that feeling of being paycheck to paycheck, because that's ultimately what crushes you, is being paycheck to paycheck. And so it means driving older cars. You guys that have followed my channel, you know that I have an old Toyota Sequoia. You know that I have an old uh, Chrysler Town and Country minivan. Those are our primary vehicles. Combined, they have over a 500,000 miles on them. I drive by a dealership right down the road here. I look at the prices of vehicles now and I say, there's no way. I'm not paying $35,000 for a depreciating um, asset, basically. And so, but that's not what most people do, right? Most people, they go, well, I have to have a nice car, or it has to be safe, or um, I just want to make sure that I can get from point A to point B. Listen, there's a lot of difference between spending, money on a used car and paying top dollar for a vehicle off the lot that'll cost you 30 to $50,000. And that's where we've come in our country. But what you'll find is Dave Ramsey's right that your greatest wealth building tool is your income. And so the less that you put towards that, and the more you can invest, the better. So that was one person that I started reading who really helped me see the light. A couple other people. One year on a trip to Florida, I listened to Rich Dad Poor Dad through my earbuds, and I realized that a lot of what I had been taught about money was incorrect. And so Rich Dad Poor Dad really helped me gain an additional perspective that I did not have, again, um, growing up. And it was very similar to reading a lot of Dave Ramsey's things. And so for me, one of the things that I realized was, holy cow. So here's a couple different books that have helped me understand finances in a totally and completely different way than I usually would. And that made me then want to look into more resources out there. And so then I started reading other books. Um, like The Richest Man in Babylon. I started watching entrepreneurs online, not just the fake internet guru entrepreneurs, but people who had built legitimate businesses and were really highlighting how we live in a time where there is great opportunity. And that's really why I really don't think that the American dream is dead. I think that the American dream looks different, and it looks a lot more like the minimalist tiny house movement. That's kind of where I'm going with this video, where you don't work for things, you work for the freedom to do things. And that's the crux of the issue, isn't it? You don't work for a bigger, nicer house, you don't work for a bigger, nicer car, you don't work to um, go to a better school. You work to provide for yourself in independence and financial freedom. And that really began to really change my perspective. And I'm really grateful that I was able to do that. And now what I'm seeing is the possibilities of this lifestyle, that the more that you let me put it this way, the less that you consume and the more that you create, the more opportunity is. Think about this video, those of you who are watching on YouTube, um, whether you're watching live or after the fact, you all have one of these, right? You all have one of these phones, and we all have social media, or we all watch Netflix or Hulu or YouTube. I love it as much as anybody, but we are consumers at heart. We consume things. And so it's in our nature to consume content on Netflix, consume content on YouTube. And while we're consuming that content, we have to eat. So we consume junk food, we consume all these other things. And what we realize is that that doesn't get us any further ahead in life. So again, if you're watching, if you can see this, love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. I actually think, though, again, that there's great opportunity to be had. So, also curious, what are gas prices by you right now? Um, what are you noticing as far as food costs going up? Let me know in the comments below. So, what my strategy is then is so I'll be 49 this year. So technically speaking, I'll be 13 years away from Social Security or retirement age. And so my plan, I've done some previous videos about this. My plan to be able to retire when I want to is to continue on this path of minimalism, living below my means, increasing my income, not going into debt, all that good stuff. Because I don't see a different path out than that. So, is the American dream dead? Maybe, as Jane Prepper said, maybe it's on life support, or maybe it's time to think about it differently than we have been. Anyways, that's what I want to talk about in this quick video. Another test run here in my studio that I'm been slowly working on building. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you like videos like this, please subscribe, hit the like button, and share it with a friend. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.